Eric Hilliard Ricky Nelson, later known as Rick Nelson, was an iconic American musician, singer, and actor whose career spanned several decades. Born into a show business family, Nelson became a teenage heartthrob in the 1950s and continued to make significant contributions to music and television throughout his life. Despite his many accomplishments, Nelson's life was cut tragically short in a plane crash on December 31, 1985. Early life. Rick Nelson was born on May 8, 1940 in Teaneck, New Jersey, to Ozzie and Harriet Nelson, a well-known entertainment couple. Ozzie was a band leader and Harriet a singer, and they were already familiar faces on the radio and later on television. Rick grew up alongside his older brother David in an environment steeped in show business, which naturally influenced his career path. Family influence. The Nelson family moved to Hollywood in the early 1940s, where Ozzie and Harriet transitioned from radio to television. The family show, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, became a staple of American television, running from 1952 to 1966. Rick and David were incorporated into the show, effectively making them child stars. Education. Rick attended Gardner Street Public School, Bancroft Junior High, and Hollywood High School. His education was frequently interrupted by his acting commitments, but he managed to balance schoolwork with his burgeoning career. Despite his fame, Rick's parents tried to provide a semblance of normalcy, though the pressures of being in the spotlight inevitably affected his schooling and social life. Acting career. Rick Nelson's acting career began at a young age, thanks to his involvement in The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. The show provided him with a platform to develop his skills and gain national recognition. He made his film debut in Here Comes the Nelsons, 1952, a feature film that also starred his family. Musical breakthrough. While acting was his initial foray into entertainment, music was Rick's true passion. He began his recording career in 1957 with the release of A Teenager's Romance, which quickly climbed the charts. His follow-up single, a cover of Fats Domino's I'm Walkin', solidified his status as a teen idol. Rick's musical career was characterized by a blend of rock and roll and rockabilly, and he became one of the best-selling artists of the 1950s and early 1960s. Musical evolution. As the years progressed, Rick Nelson's music evolved. In the mid-1960s, he formed the Stone Canyon Band, which marked a departure from his earlier rock and roll style. The band's music incorporated elements of country rock, a genre that was gaining popularity at the time. Hits like Garden Party, 1972, reflected Nelson's maturity as an artist and his ability to adapt to changing musical landscapes. Television and film. In addition to his musical career, Rick continued to act in television and films. He appeared in several movies, including Rio Bravo, 1959, where he starred alongside John Wayne and Dean Martin. His television appearances included guest roles on popular shows, further showcasing his versatility as an entertainer. Tragic last minutes. On December 31, 1985, Rick Nelson was on his way to a New Year's Eve concert in Dallas, Texas, aboard a Douglas DC-3 aircraft chartered for the tour. The plane, a 1944 model, was piloted by Brad Rank and co-piloted by Ken Ferguson. The journey from Guntersville, Alabama to Dallas started as a routine flight. However, as they neared their destination, a fire broke out in the cabin. The cause of the fire is still debated, with theories ranging from a malfunctioning onboard heater to an electrical short circuit. The situation quickly turned dire as the flames spread. The pilots, recognizing the gravity of the situation, attempted an emergency landing in a field near DeKalb, Texas. Despite their efforts to control the descent and minimize the impact, the plane crash-landed and immediately burst into flames. Rick Nelson, his fiancee Helen Blair, and 5 members of his band were unable to escape and perished in the inferno. Reports from witnesses and survivors describe a desperate and chaotic scene, with the fire consuming the aircraft rapidly, leaving little time for those on board to react. The tragic incident ended the life of a beloved musician and his companions, casting a shadow over the New Year's celebrations and leaving a lasting impact on his fans and the music industry. Immediate impact. The news of Rick Nelson's death sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and his fan base. Tributes poured in from fellow musicians, actors, and fans who had followed his career since his days as a child star. His death marked the end of an era, as Nelson had been one of the last active performers from the golden age of rock and roll. Investigation and reports. The National Transportation Safety Board investigated the crash of Rick Nelson's plane and concluded that a cabin fire caused the disaster. However, the investigation could not definitively identify the fire's ignition source, though possibilities included a malfunctioning heater or an electrical short circuit. This tragic incident underscored significant safety concerns regarding older aircraft, leading to renewed discussions about the need for stricter aviation regulations and updated safety standards. The event highlighted the vulnerabilities of vintage planes and prompted the aviation industry to reevaluate maintenance protocols and emergency procedures to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Legacy. Rick Nelson's legacy lives on through his extensive body of work. His influence on rock and roll, rockabilly, and country rock is undeniable. He's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Rockabilly Hall of Fame, cementing his place in music history. His children, particularly his twin sons Matthew and Gunnar, have continued his musical legacy with their band, Nelson. Memorials and tributes. Nelson's family, friends, and fans have kept his memory alive through various tributes and memorials. His hometown of Teaneck, New Jersey, and other places significant to his life and career have honored him with plaques and commemorations. Annual tributes and concerts celebrate his contributions to music and television. Rick Nelson's life and career were marked by extraordinary achievements and profound influence on the entertainment industry. From his early days as a child star on The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, to his evolution into a pioneering rock and roll and country rock artist, Nelson left an indelible mark on American culture. His tragic death in a plane crash abruptly ended a life still brimming with potential. The subsequent investigation into the crash highlighted critical safety concerns, contributing to ongoing discussions about aviation safety. Despite his untimely demise, Rick Nelson's legacy endures through his timeless music and the continued efforts of his family to honor his memory. His contributions to music and television remain celebrated, ensuring that his influence will be felt for generations to come. Thank you for watching the video. We hope you all liked it. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you will never miss any episode of our enthralling series.